Welcome to the next issue
podcast. Please enjoy
the show. Woo! Here we go.
Welcome everyone. That one gets me every time.
I love that intro. I
don't
need
even
to outdo your intro with another intro.
I don't even want to watch the I don't even want to watch the movie because it's not going to live up to that clip of just rolling. Woo-hoo. Welcome everyone to the Next Issue podcast. As you can probably see on based on the title and the thumbnail or however you ended up here, today we are talking about comic book gimmicks, smash or pass. So we're gonna talk about what the gimmicks are. We've through our reading career of comic books, we've experienced many a comic book gimmicks. So we're finally gonna settle this debate.
I know. I'm trying to think of what was the first gimmick I remember. Yeah. And I think it had to have been the Death in the Family call-in.
That makes sense.
Where you could vote on Robin whether he was going to live or die.
That actually pretty much checks out with just the timeline of when these things. And I know in gimmick is a pretty inclusive term, I think. So
yeah,
there might be some things on the list that are like, well, that's just a trope or something. So we'll figure it out. We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's not all encompassing like an event book kind of thing. Like,
right.
Are you buying an event and all the tie-ins, but more like a themed month. Like Marvel did a month of wordless books called Nuff Said.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Would you buy all of those? Like, would that interest you enough? Because I believe the G.I. Joe issue of the Nuff Said was a Snake Eyes issue, and it's supposed to be like one of the best G.I. Joe issues.
Yes, because Snake Eyes notoriously doesn't really talk.
Exactly.
So, before we get to that, though, unfortunate news, and our main topic also comes from unfortunate news. So we're trying to make lemons. We're trying to make lemonade with all these lemons. This week, the one thing I do want to touch on real quick, illustrator Drew Struzan passed away.
Yes.
I made a little video that same day with some of my favorite posters for movies and stuff. But Clay, I wanted to ask, what do you have a favorite poster from Drew Struzan or a couple of favorite things?
I mean, there's just so many because he's just so iconic. It's weird because the only one I have up in my house is a Harry Potter one.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he did all those.
But he's done like so many others that I don't have that I go, man, that's really weird because he really has done like iconic stuff. I have like Mondo posters, which he never did because he traditionally did the mainstream release posters. I think that if you should read the hardback that he did too about his life, because he talks about each poster too. That's really good because the Thing poster that he did is very iconic, and I believe the story is he learned it the night before. Like they said, like, hey, we need a poster. It's, we're still filming. This is kind of basically the idea. Yeah. And so he was able to put together that, winter look with the shining light coming out of the face. Like, nice. And it's just so good.
So I have this article here that I pulled up from indieground.net. And it just kind of goes through the history of some of these. So like I had not seen a lot of these illustrations, so I figured we could probably just kind of take a look. This Alice Cooper album, that's pretty like I didn't even realize that I mean, I guess it makes sense that he would do covers, but he did a lot of B movies as well.
Yeah.
Which you can probably I don't know what Empire of Ants is, but I'm sure it's not like a big mainstream thing.
I think it's Jackie Collins is in this. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I do have that poster. I do have that Star Wars poster.
You have this Star Wars posters? Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it is very different than most of the other ones.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to remember how it was released, but I do have that.
Of course, worked a lot of Indiana Jones. I mean, I think a lot of Spielberg and just like Lucasfilm stuff and Warner Brothers. I think these are some of my favorites. This was the Back to the Future one. The first one was in my 5 favorite ones. That was
Yeah.
one. But I love the fact that he just kept adding people to the same kind of sequence.
Yeah.
Blade Runner was another. Actually, these two were also on the list. Blade Runner.
I know it. It's I'm such a Blade Runner fan, and I don't have a poster.
Yeah, and then the thing, like you were mentioning, like just an iconic design that it really intriguing, but also kind of scary to look at. Like what's going on? What like it really doesn't tell you much.
Yeah, I believe he had 12 hours to do it.
That's crazy. That is insane.
Yeah, like
these are all
I think I
painted,
remember.
airbrushed.
Yeah, I think there's a documentary you can watch on him too, and he talks about it, and that the delivery guy or the guy who was going to take it was there while he was still painting, and he's like, "But it's got to dry. It's got like all this stuff was required for it, but it was just a promo."
Okay, I saw. I think I've seen clips of that because I remember sharing a clip of him doing the poster for my actual favorite one, which is the Phantom Menace poster.
Yeah. And
I mean,
you've seen The Mist, right?
I have, yeah.
You know, at the beginning, there are all these posters that are in that room. I believe they're all Drew Struzan posters. All his artwork. Yeah.
And then these are the
iconics.
More traditional.
Now, I have like puzzles. I'm sorry.
No, I said these are the more traditional Star Wars looking posters as well.
Yeah. The special editions.
The sequel trilogy or the prequel trilogies.
And I have the original. I may have those posters. Okay, so that Harry Potter poster, that's what I have up in my bathroom.
Yeah, and I also had this Hellboy one on my favorites, just because it seems like such a different thing, right?
Everyone looks so good.
Yeah, it looks so cool. It's crazy how his art is so kind of photorealistic in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the unfortunate thing is a lot of the stuff that we get nowadays with posters is probably just trying to mimic this stuff, but like with computers.
Yep.
And it obviously just doesn't feel the same. It hits different, so
I mean, posters matter so much nowadays with the amount of content that's available that you would think that they would invest more in the look and the style of the way they're presenting a movie. But most of the time you will click on a movie and it will just have the star of the show and a picture and that's it. And that's all they're going to sell it as is this. Oh, this guy's in this movie.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing nowadays. Like people actually have put in their contract, like how much space their face has to take on a poster and all that, and I'm like, well, you can't.
The lettering of their name.
Yeah, you can't really make art like that by numbers. So
I try to remember because there is a famous poster with an actress's name whose lettering is bigger than everyone else's because it's in her contract, even though it doesn't make the poster.
It doesn't make sense. That's why.
Damn it, dog.
Clay has a guest today, and they're not behaving. They hate comic book gimmicks too.
Yeah. Well, I don't like her under the table, and she's under the table, and she keeps getting tangled up in something, and then she won't leave. Like it's almost like, oh, I keep getting tangled. I'm gonna just keep doing this. Come here, Zero.
Maybe it feels
Zero.
nice. Like those
Get out.
What is it? The cow hugging devices?
The cow hugging.
Yeah, like they put cows on these things to like make them feel at ease before.
Oh, really? I've never heard of this. What kind of movies are you watching?
It's so funny enough. I mean, I've never seen the movie, but when I was on TikTok, there was a lot of clips of this movie about. It was a person. I think she had autism, but then she she just kind of kept fighting through to make sure that she was able to get in whatever field of work she wanted to, and it was about studying cows and stuff. So it was really interesting. I don't remember. I think is it Naomi Watts? I don't remember the actress. It's been a long time, but I only saw clips. Let us know in the comments if you know exactly what movie I'm talking about, because those were very popular clips on TikTok that would just keep coming up. So
yeah.
All right. Well, now onto our main topic here. And this is interesting because I put out a call to some of the people in other discords where we talk about comic books and you guys just to make a list of all the comic book gimmicks. Now, as far as a gimmick, I guess in my view is like something that is out of the norm to try to sell a specific comic, right? Now, granted, some of these are more prevalent than others, and even like I'm not gonna just say variant covers because those are like feels like the norm now. But then
Yeah,
we
but
will
it
get
wasn't growing up. That was
right.
the weird part, is like for the longest time, variant covers started with second issues because second issues were typically the lowest selling books.
Okay.
So they started putting variants on issue 2s so that people would go, oh, well, there's 2 covers, and then maybe they would grab that one and it would last a little longer. But then they just all pushed them to the first issues, and that's when Marvel just became a first issue comic book publisher.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now I'm gonna kind of go through these, and I'll try to pull up pictures, but we can talk about and describe what these things kind of look like. The first one I have on the list, and we can probably go in that's probably a good order, maybe. The chromium covers. So this isn't just the normal foil. These are like extra shiny.
Extra shiny.
Yeah, extra shiny. Think of like those 90s X-Men. They did this a lot, where it's just like the little. It almost looks like tinfoil stuck in your comic book.
Yeah.
I love those at conventions, but I know that they're probably, and I don't know. I wasn't around buying comics in the 90s to know how big of a problem or how much or how prolific these actually were. So I don't know if you have any inclination of like how many of these are around all the time.
You know, it just seemed like they were doing them every month, and it was just like it got boring real quick because it was like you ended up having to buy one because you're like probably getting a pull list of something that did a chromium cover. I want to say that Valiant seemed like it did a lot, but I can't think of them. Marvel, I know, did a ton. Yeah.
So this is one of the ones that really comes to my mind all the time because it's I think this
3D.
one might have been even in a bag with a card. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but
no, I think you're right.
You can see the name. There's the little foil embossing or the chromium embossing, and then Cable has embossing all over his body. So it's not just a flat foil like we get a lot now. So what do you think on these? What are we smashing or passing on this one, Clay?
I think we're passing. Because if these were popular, they'd still be printing them, and there would be a collectible market for just this kind of cover.
I agree, because these are in dollar bins all across the nation. Yeah. So we're gonna hit the pass button on the chromium covers.
Yeah, and I mean, otherwise, it's a great cover. I mean, it's a great Cable cover. So
yeah, for sure.
It's just adding some nonsense that kind of takes the color out of what's been done.
Now, the next gimmick is kind of a recent thing that's made a comeback, and here I don't even have to look it up.
You got one.
The poly blind bag. So this is already an empty bag, but actually I have 2 here that I haven't even opened from the DCKO. The poly bag blind bag.
So you're obviously a smash on this one.
Well,
this is an easy one.
These made a comeback recently with that the Beast the Invincible spin-off book that follows Battle Beast.
Okay.
And you actually will be surprised. I am actually gonna be I know it seems a little hypocritical since I have a bunch of them with me, but I'm actually gonna be a pass because they went too hard, too fast on this. Because now they're doing like Marvel's doing a bunch of polybags for their Ultimate End Game, whatever. And then DC's doing them for I don't know if they're doing it for every issue of KO, but it's too much and they're too expensive too.
They're $10 a pop, right?
Yeah, but here's my big problem. They are not exclusive covers they're just foil versions of the variant covers they're already putting out. That's my big problem with it.
Yeah, that's fucked up. You should be getting something only available in a poly bag.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would want from a poly bag. Something that is just a specific thing that you can only get from the poly bag. Even if because otherwise, why am I paying $10 for a cover that I could just pick up for $5?
Yeah,
just because it's foil. So
yeah, because there is nothing more defeating than opening a poly bag and looking at it. You paid $10 for a book that's on the shelf for $5.
Yeah, or a book that you might
go,
have already had because you picked it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
I will admit I am a victim of that, because the last poly bag I remember buying was for The Walking Dead. I think what they had done is they tied it into like Free Comic Book Day.
They reprinted a bunch of their key issues and they put them in poly bags.
Yes, and then they had special covers done for them.
But at least those were new covers from the original ones, because obviously I don't think The Walking Dead did a lot of variants throughout the main run.
No, they didn't.
So they actually had artists recreate covers. I remember J. Scott Campbell did a few of those.
Yep.
That's a little even more appealing, because I know it's going to be a different thing that I've never seen. Even it's kind of like an homage to the original cover. But still, sorry, polybags, especially at $10 a pop, that's a pass.
Yeah, but you bought them, so it's like it's hard to say pass, because like I'm a victim of them as well. But I think I'm gonna say smash, because if they're done right, where you get exclusive covers, it's worth it, because it's just it's the gambling scenario of comics.
Until they do it right, then I'll say pass.
Until they do it right. That's true. Okay, so then I'll say pass.
If it's more of the Walking Dead scenario, then I'll say smash. I agree with you. Those are a smash, because we know those are different covers. We know they're cool things. So.
But also, if it was not a reprint of the book, but like an original book, like that would be even better, because like you're just buying it for the cover,
at least getting a new book out of it too. Yeah. I guess no one forced me to buy the regular issue of DCKO. I could have just bought a poly bag, but here we are. All right, next one, connected covers.
Smash this so hard. I love connected covers.
Yeah,
the OG connected cover for me is going to be Jim Lee's
X-Men #1. Now, I will say, I would prefer that it was like X-Men #1, #2, #3, #4, and then they all connect, rather than these are all just X-Men #1s that have different covers that connect. But even then, it's still cool to get like a larger piece of art.
Yeah,
especially when they're done correctly. The disconnected cover on its own, it still looks like a complete piece, and then when you put it together, it's like kind of like the Megazord, right? It's like each individual thing is still its own thing, but then when it comes together, it's a larger thing.
I have part of a connected cover that I've put together. Do you want me to pull it? It's just like right around the corner.
Yeah, if you have it around, let's take a look. This is I love having visuals without me having to actually Google the stuff. So yeah, connected covers. There's I have some really cool two of them. And then there's also like some of them that are like longer, 3 or 4 or 5. So as long as it's not more than 5, I think that's a pretty good. Well, look at that. Clay's got it all set up.
Okay. So this is 4 of 6.
Okay.
Run on Age of Apocalypse. Yeah. So I pick them up in like half price books or a quarter bin or something, but I have literally a stack of books that I just pull for covers, and I won't pay like a lot of money. I'll pay like $2 at the most to get something like this, but it's missing 2 covers that I need to add to it.
Okay. Nice.
And
I will say, as far as connecting things go, look at that. Oh, you got another one.
Okay. Well, this one, because it's separate, because I'm going to do something different with this.
Okay.
But yeah, a Guardians tie-in one. Oh,
I remember that one. That one's recent, right? Or relatively recent. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just thinning it out and framing it up. But like I said, I've been sick, so I haven't been able to be in the garage. But I have a couple of these. This one I'm going to turn into a 3D. I'm going to cut each head out
Okay.
and mount it further out.
Yeah. I've seen
So
stuff like that. Are
yeah,
those the top of your boxes, or what are those? Just cardboard? Oh, you're
uh,
just mounting on canvas,
foam
kind
board.
of. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's a little thicker, and then you use a spray glue. I don't think I have it out here, but yeah, you use a spray glue to get it to lay flat. Take
Oh,
it
so
all
you
off.
actually cut them out of the. You rip them out of the. Oh my! I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But I guess if they're cheap books you picked up.
Yeah. So
I
with
will
gimmick
say,
covers, like I will make cool shit with it. So
yeah, just don't make it more than 5 or 6, because then it gets unwieldy.
yeah.
So all right, connected covers. That's a smash for us.
Oh yeah.
And I'm writing this down just to we'll go through the list again. All right, this is an interesting gimmick because it doesn't have to do with the covers or anything. And Clay's already, yeah. A most recent example of this is celebrity writers, and by that I really mean like the J.J. Abrams / his son coming into the Spider-Man book that I think that's one of the most recent examples.
Yeah.
I think it can be done right. Like, Keanu Reeves and the whole Berserk thing, like they're still going, right? It's not,
Yeah.
but
But he's also working with Matt Kind on that.
he's,
So
yeah. So it's like, but the ones that really feel like, like I think Tom Hardy has a Dark Horse book that I think it's still going with Scott Snyder and I forget the other writer. So yeah, just having celebrity writers come in to do like an issue or two, even if I like the celebrity, like the CM Punk books or whatever, right?
yeah.
But I think there's gonna be a pass for me because unfortunately these celebrities are not. It's not like they're transitioning into being comic writers, so they'll actually setting up a long game or anything like that.
Yeah.
This one feels a lot like a cash grab, and obviously all these are just cash grabs, but some are more blatant than others.
Yeah. I mean, there are celebrities who are genuine comic book fans. You
Yeah.
know, Mark Hamill wrote the Black Pearl for Dark Horse years ago because he loved comic books. He wanted to have like an ongoing title, but I think he got like 2 series out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest celebrity I feel that's successful is Kevin Smith because he is a celebrity, but he is also a writer and he's also a fan of comics.
And he's doing his own universe as well, right? He's kind of continuing on the stuff that he can't do in his movies. He's just doing a lot of that stuff through the quick stops and all that and keeping those characters alive. So
Yeah.
But overall, on the whole, I think that's a pass. All right. Another big one for this year. Publisher crossovers. This week itself, we just had the Gargoyle Fantastic Four one-shot from Marvel and Dynamite. But I mean, all throughout the year, TMNT Godzilla, Power Rangers Godzilla, Godzilla going over DC, Godzilla going over Marvel. It sounds like it's just Godzilla that's everywhere, but it's only because it was the big anniversary year. But and then of course sorry to interrupt, but the big one was the DC Marvel one shot that is happening this year, right? We already got one half of that with Batman or Deadpool Batman. We're getting the other half in November with they're not connected. I'm just saying like the other side of the coin with Batman Deadpool. But even then, it's been going on forever. Now, how do you feel about this one, Clay?
I love it. I think it's a great thing. It typically puts them in a story that they can't doesn't stay within continuity, so they can do whatever they want. That's what's fun about comics is like let's just put 2 things that shouldn't happen together, and what is the funnest thing that could happen?
Yes.
I will bring over my favorite crossover was the Hanna-Barbera DC crossover they did years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the Dynamut Super Sons crossover because it's not the story you expect, and that's what I love about doing these crossovers. Like it was just so weird and great. I loved it, and there's a lot of weird stories. I think the Banana Splits teamed up with the Suicide Squad. There was like a lot of wild stories in that, but that's what's fun. Like if you're gonna have a crossover, it better be fun and not some boring, talk fest.
And it had a great purpose too, because it was introducing, or I guess reintroducing people to Hanna-Barbera, because DC was about to launch their Hanna-Barbera titles at the same time, right? They had the Snagglepuss and the Flintstones, and like all these other things. I don't know if all those fall under Hanna-Barbera, but I think they do. So yeah, so I think publisher crossovers, I welcome them. I I hope that DC and Marvel kind of keep doing at least maybe one per year.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun, or one every couple of years.
But then you have like cool random ones I'm remembering from the 90s of like Starman, Batman, and Hellboy.
Yes,
You
yeah.
know, you would just have like Dark Horse like go, hey, let's have this team.
I mean, I think Alien and Predator have crossed over with pretty much everything that under the sun.
The way that Marvel's doing that right now in the comics is so fun.
It's so cool.
So fun.
Yeah. I think Alien even crossed over. I think there's a Predator Archie comic.
Yeah.
And a Predator or an Alien and Sonic comic book, which is like, those are insane. So.
I know. I mean, imagine going, oh, I have an idea for that. Like, I want to hear the idea of Sonic and Alien.
Yeah. I mean, we just had manga with Naruto and the Ninja Turtles, what was it, last year, I think? So I love them. Keep them coming. That's a good gimmick.
I know. I'm just trying to think, what is the wildest crossover ever done?
Yeah, it feels like it needs to be something with 3 or 4. Well, I mean, okay, so maybe this is a wild one that's coming up. I don't know if you saw the news coming out of New York Comic Con. So we'll take a quick tangent here. Jeff and I talked about this last week, but I want to see your reaction if you haven't heard the news. So the DCKO thing is going, right, where they're fighting everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And they're having some people from outside the DC universe come into the fight. And those include Red Sonja from Dynamite, Vampirella from Dynamite, Homelander from Dynamite, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. But here are the 2 really wild ones. The Annabelle doll from the Conjuring films and Sam the Bear from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees from IDW.
Okay, I'm interested. I mean, that's interesting. Like, I guess you would say casting.
Fun. Yeah, that just sounds like fun. So,
like, how is this going to work?
I'm very excited to find out because we don't know much about it. There was a big picture with all those characters, and I'm like, this thing is about reshaping the universe because Apocalypse is taking over the Earth, and like, how does that lead them to, specifically Annabelle, the doll?
Yeah, and the doll just sits there.
Yeah, you're right. But the other ones, I mean, Sub-Zero is already kind of a Warner Brothers property, so I guess they all kind of make sense. Except, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. Dynamite Comics coming over to DC makes sense, but we'll finally maybe get at our Superman Homelander fight that can finally tell who's who. So
who drives those? Is it an editor in chief that's trying to make these things happen, or do you think it's just a random editor who's talking with other companies?
I like to think, and this is just my speculation based on listening to James Tynion, because James Tynion, Swamp Thing is also crossing over with Something's Killing the Children. I don't know if you saw that. I guess not. So the way James Tynion said that he still has friends over working DC, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I've had a story and I've had an idea where I like this to happen. So I imagine it's pretty similar. Like, all of these people working in comics, especially like on those editor and more like top levels, I guess, they've probably been around the industry long. They probably work for different publishers. They probably keep in touch with other publishers, and they're like, well, what can we do to get more money? And they're like, well, reach across the aisle and get somebody else and do a little crossover. So, or maybe like Scott Snyder's always wanted to write something like maybe a Homelander or Annabelle, and like, why don't we just try it out? I mean, I would love to see the rejected list of characters.
Yeah.
Right? What's left in the cutting room floor. So, all right. But yeah, publisher crossovers. Big smash for us, I think. I wish I had a button that would like put smash on the... maybe for the next one. All right. Ooh, next one's really my kryptonite. Foil covers. Shiny.
Foil covers are not great.
There's
not a market collecting them. There's not a... it just takes basic art, takes out all the color and life from it, and then makes it foil.
And yet, I continue to pick them up. I don't know what it is. Like this, like the chromium covers, at least have a like they're at least embossed or like they have a different texture. These don't, and I still just like look at it. It's so shiny. I don't know. But you're right. It's almost like when you go watch a movie in 3D and it looks a little bit darker than normal because you have to put the glasses on. It's kind of the same. But man, I love them. So cool. I mean, look at that. And we get to do
foil is the 3D gimmick of comics.
Yeah, it really is. This might be where we the one we might have to leave this one up to the vote.
Yeah, this will be
So
anyone in chat want to vote on foil covers, whether you like it or not.
I might do a poll on the channel.
Okay.
All right, next one. This one was one that Jeff reminded me of, and we don't see this one a lot, which maybe makes it great. Scratch off
Doom
cover.
Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol recently did a scratch off thing where you would scratch off it's like a mirror that one of the characters is looking into, and you would get different things behind it. So scratch off covers. What do you think, Clay? Smash or pass? I think so because it's not oversaturated. That's my main thing.
Yeah, it's very rare, and it's a Doom Patrol thing, so I don't think it's going to be something that becomes mainstream.
Yeah,
but I guess maybe the numbers will tell us, like if they do sell a lot. And I'm also curious when they do these covers, and they do variants. Does that stuff just stay on the cover for decades, or does it eventually just like fall off?
So funny enough, I haven't scratched off my Doom Patrol cover. So it'd be interesting to see,
like if it starts to fall off.
Yeah, but I will say, just doing a quick Google search, I don't see a lot of scratch off gimmick. Scratch off's not a big gimmick.
Yeah.
I think there was let me see, a G.I. Joe Volume 5 back in the day that did a scratch off thing as well.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's just all the Doom Patrol that we were just talking about. So.
Yeah, because that's what we learned about, like when they would bag books. So like in the 90s, they'd be like, oh, there's like a new book. I'm pretty sure it's X-Force #1. I have in a bag and outside of a bag. And when I kept it in the bag, the red that was on the poly bag bled into the cover of the book. Oh, so there are things that affect these books that they're doing to try to sell them that sometimes actually affect the book itself.
I bet that's pretty common because they don't really think of the long-term collectability aspect of these things. Think like it just doesn't feel like that. So, all right, the next gimmick is actually, and I should have started with this. I forgot that this is the reason kind of why I came up with this topic. The unfortunate passing of Ace Frehley, guitarist on Kiss. I think. Is there only one member of Kiss? Is Gene the last member of Kiss left alive?
Paul Stanley's still alive. Yeah.
Paul Stanley. There's 5, right? Is there 5?
Well, there's 4, but they've never had. They've rotated out.
Oh, okay, yeah, Mark. Because so I have
Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, with that unfortunate passing, it kind of came to my mind that, and you probably saw in the thumbnail that we have Kiss on there. So Kiss did I put celebrity blood on the notes. Kiss.
They were celebrities in the 70s, sir. I was alive then. I can tell you.
No. I meant the fact that it's blood that's coming into the comic. But that's the part I was laughing at. I love Kiss. Are you kidding me? Detroit Rock City all the way, baby. But the gimmick of having blood, and I don't think they're the only ones that have done this, but they Kiss mixed little blood vials into the paint for a special Kiss comic book, right? So
right, a Marvel.
Yeah, because the picture, Stan Lee's in the picture with them.
Yeah.
So
you would have thought Stan Lee would have come up with variants. You would have thought that Stan Lee would have been the salesman of salesmen, but
yeah. How do I sell more of these?
I want to see the business meeting where Stan Lee is talking to Kiss.
Oh man, are they? Yeah, like are they always in there? It's hard. I don't know how much do they live the gimmick of being Kiss? Like how often were they in the makeup back in the day and all that. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I would
there's
think all their business meetings would be any business meeting with
onward.
any outside parties
Yeah.
outside of the KISS organization, if you
Well,
will.
well, I believe in the mid '80s is when they started. They were going to do a no makeup tour, and so it was like they put out their first music video without the makeup on, and people were like, "Oh my god, it's Kiss!" But then it was just like 4 guys, and so people were like, "Oh,
Well, because also like for them, some of the guys, I'm sure that wasn't their hair,
oh,
right?
yeah, I'm sure."
So like, does that include? Because it would be really hard to distinguish. And I'm not saying all white people look like Clay, but it'd probably be really hard to distinguish them without with the one with the star versus the one with the cat makeup, right?
Yeah, the Catman versus the Starman. Yeah.
So, but are we giving this a smash or a pass? Celebrity
Well,
blood on the ink.
Well, here, so in researching this, I came across. Did you know that there is a dead man who exists in comics, whose ashes have been put into comics?
What?
Yes, Mark Grunwald passed away in the '90s, and we know Mark Grunwald from doing great books like Hawkeye. I mean, that guy was all over Marvel, but like I know his Hawkeye, and that what really kind of drew me to him. He had done fill-in issues. He had been editor-in-chief. He has done everything. But in the '90s, Mark had passed away, and he asked to be cremated, and he wanted his ashes to be put into the ink of a comic book, and he had done Squadron Supreme. So the first trade of Squadron Supreme has Mark Grunwald's ashes in it.
Wow.
I'm surprised you didn't come across the story. That makes me want to hunt down that trade. And I'm not a Squadron Supreme fan, but a little bit of Mark Grunwald in the house.
So I guess we'll call this post-human remains on the comic.
Yes.
Is that a smash or a pass? I mean, it sounds like
it depends on who it is. Because I really could care less about Kiss. I'm a fan of their music, but like,
yeah,
really, they're the kings of marketing.
They really are.
That's really what they've done. Have you ever seen like a super fanatical Kiss fan's house? There was I forget what it was on, but it was a show. I think it was like a fix-up show because I think I watched it while I was in the hospital. And this guy was a super fan of Kiss who had Kiss all over his house, but they were trying to fix up his house so that it, people could just come in and not just be inundated with Kiss. So he had to like reduce his collection down. But super fan, like blankets on the wall, tour shirts, toys, books, and they just have so much shit. It's insane.
I think this is gonna be a smash because that's a big commitment to put.
Yeah,
just the fact that you're getting your human remains and then you've convinced the publisher to like put them in the ink.
Okay, question for end of the show for you to think about.
Sure.
You're going to die, and they're going to let you put in your blood or your ashes into a comic that they reprint.
Okay.
What is that book? Tell me at the end of the show.
I'll think on that. So yeah. All right. Next one's a really fun one, but we don't see it a lot, and it's hard to put into words, especially in like this type of medium because I don't have the book with me. But the creative use of the physical medium, and by that, the latest example we have is the Martian Manhunter. Absolute Martian Manhunter. The last page, you actually hold it up to the light, and it reveals what you can see it on both sides, and you're like, okay, that's what they were going for. Yeah. Or I'm also thinking like, where's my Court of Owls, where Greg Capullo makes you like turn the book and then turn the book and then turn the book one more time. Like just that's what I'm thinking. Like something that is you can only really get through the physical version of a comic book.
Oh shit! I was gonna say because Chris Ware's book, Jimmy Corrigan, the smartest boy on earth.
Yeah.
The cover for it comes off and unfolds. It's a whole design that you get only from that hardcover.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere close.
Yeah. Take a look around, see if you can find it, but
hold on.
while Clay does that, I am looking for here.
All right.
I like that you just have all these gimmicks in hand. Like
This is the office, man. This is where.
the fortress that has everything there.
Well, actually, it's half of it because I moved it downstairs when I
that's
started
right.
having physical problems. But like, there's a lot upstairs. So this is just the cover.
Okay.
Of Jimmy Corrigan that you open up.
Holy moly! Here, let me give you the bigger screen.
So this is just the dust cover of Jimmy Corrigan.
Whoa!
On one side, and then the other.
Is that like a map to understand the book?
No. I just think you need to go in knowing it's sad. He just likes to draw, so this is an incredible cover.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so something you would not get with a paperback.
With a digital one, yeah. Because I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know how you would do that. Maybe once we get 3D hologram technology.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna be a smash for both of us.
Yeah, and then this is just the basic cover with it taken off. So
I love when you take off a dust jacket and the book still looks so great. So that's a smash for physical use of the book.
Yeah, if you do something really cool, it makes it worth buying.
All right. Next, we have spicy versions of the comic book. And this is something that happens a little more on indie books or Kickstarters and stuff like that. I have nothing against spicy covers.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's just not usually what I go pick up. I mean, I have a few, like Azzarello did a few, not Azzarello himself, but like for his book Faithless, there was a few that were like in a bag. Distillery's done it recently as well, but I mean, it's a thing we've seen over and over. It's not really, it's more like I bought them just because it was a thing that I didn't have as part of my collection. Like I didn't have one of those, and I was like, well, it's happening now, so I might as well do it. But
yeah,
I don't get drawn to like the spicy version of something. So
yeah, me either.
Or even like the Kyle Stark's book that, you know, instead of I hate this place, like the actual title was like fuck this place, and then you could buy the curse variant or whatever. But I think this is gonna be a pass.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a great incentive, but it's not something I would buy as part of a Kickstarter. It just doesn't.
Like that wouldn't be my choice for the Kickstarter. Oh shit.
Yeah, like holy shit, I'm gonna get, for $5 extra, I can see some titties.
Right. Okay. The next is just a barrage of different kind of covers. The hologram covers, and now this is more like the holograms that not so much that the cover is a hologram, but that came with the little hologram card.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I like those, especially because they're so cheap. Like they made so many back then, and maybe that's part of the problem, kind of like with the chromium that we talked about.
Yeah, wasn't that during the Flanks storyline? Okay.
Yeah. So I like those, but they don't. I don't think they do it too much either. So I don't think it's oversaturated. And
yeah, it isn't. If it's a cool character, I do like when I'm cataloging or going back through my books and I find those because I will pull them out and look at them.
But I always put them back in the book that they belong, so that it's always there. Because I know I'll lose the card if.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the ones that are embedded in the covers.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because we've had them where the book would also come with like a little card or something. So I think holograms, those are going to be a smash.
Yeah.
Now the next one, I don't. Lenticular covers. Now those are the covers that when you move them around, they change.
Yes.
They did that a lot for the Villains Month back in the New 52, and I mean they've been around forever, but I think that was the first time I kind of saw that, and I was like, well, I guess I got to pick all these up, and I did. But I think I've learned my lesson. I'll say that.
Yeah, I I feel like that those are covers meant to be framed and put up, but I've never seen one that's been good enough to be framed and put up.
I remember a story from like a Neil Adams panel where he was talking about lenticular covers, and he's like, I think he had his own imprint or his own publisher at some point. He's like, we're trying to do something different where you actually get 3 different images, because normally it's just 2, right? You look from one
Right,
side, you
yeah.
look from the other. But he's like, we're working on a cover that it's more like, it's almost like it animates the cover. It was like somebody shooting a gun, and then you see the bullet, and then like the last would be like blood or whatever. I don't know if it ever came to fruition. I never saw it. And then he's passed ever since. So but yeah, I think we're gonna go with pass on the lenticular covers.
Yeah.
It's a fun gimmick. I'm surprised they never did like the. Do you remember the Magic Eye stuff that was
Yeah.
like really popular? I'm surprised they never tried to do a cover
I-
like that
I-
on a comic book. At
Well,
least
for
not
the
that I
longest
know.
time, they had Mallrats advertising on the back with that. So
Oh,
that was
really?
the bit.
Oh.
Yeah. So Mallrats had that. What do you call those?
Magic
3D
Eye
Magic
illusion?
Eye.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Those were the ads. So you just need to pick up some 90s comics. You'll find some Mallrat ads in the back on the back cover with just that.
I'd like to find one of those just to try it out again. And I remember those were like computer generated or something.
Yeah.
And that was
I
kind of
could
like the
never
big
see
craze.
them.
Well, I'm thinking maybe I don't know if I can still see them now that I wear glasses, because back then when I was younger, I didn't have glasses. I probably needed glasses. I just didn't have them. I could see them, but I wonder now. So, all right, next, this one's probably pretty divisive, because
Yeah.
it's kind of all encompassing. Retailer exclusives. So these are specific variant covers that are just made for a specific shop or a specific event, or you see it a lot. It's a big market now, like on Whatnot and like eBay and all those, like especially coming out of New York Comic Con. Like
Yeah.
the Transformers book had like 25 covers or 40 something covers because of this specific thing that they're just allowing retailers, if they order so many, they commission artists and stuff like that. So I like that it's giving artists work, so that's an upside. But
Yeah.
I also I it also feels a little predatory in some parts. Like if it's my local shop, then that's kind of, that's cool. But if it's like some kind of online shop thing that is just like an entity, I'm like, I don't know about that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on this one.
And actually, I have some right here that I wanted to go get, but I'm not sure if I know exactly where they are, so I won't get them.
Okay,
But
they might have the thing on the back where they're from. They usually put the
Yeah.
name of the store in there. So, but
what I do like them, but I don't know. It's a catch-22. Like I like finding like old ones because
Yeah.
I have stuff from Lone Star Comics, which here in
Yeah.
Texas was really big, but now is no longer a physical store. It's just my comic shop online.
Yep.
So it's neat to find those old conventions that don't exist anymore. Like I have like Wizard World Arlington stuff,
okay.
that's kind of cool. I have like I've done 3 Comic-Con visits to San Diego, and I have like a Gen 13 Gen X crossover book that's like San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's 2007 maybe. And it's like autographed by oh my god, you just said him, Danger Girl, J. Scott Campbell.
Oh, Jessica Campbell, nice.
Yeah, so like I like when it's like dated and it's like, oh yeah, I went to that show, or
Yeah.
But again, that was like over 25 years ago. So like,
And
now it's everywhere. Like when they had the Marvelous New Year's Eve, they had so many Stan Lee books autographed by Stan Lee, but it wasn't. How legit was it?
Right. Even so, I will say, even now, I don't really go after retailer exclusives unless it's like an artist that I really like and they happen to make one. And I only buy them because then maybe that'll encourage that shop to work with that same artist again. And I'm like, then I'll get more coverage. So, but I think overall, this is going to be a pass for me. On the whole, it's a pass with maybe a few exceptions.
Yeah, there's I'm not paying over $10 for a cover.
That's the other thing. Yeah, they're usually at least $15-$20 for the cheaper one.
But if the retailer is able to sell it, if he's able to make some profits from it.
Mhm.
But he also is having to order specific books to get that cover.
Yeah.
So it may be a launch of a new book or
Mhm.
second issue of a new book or something that's really struggling that they may be canceling, and they go, well, you need to order at least 100 copies and then you can get your retailer
Oh
exclusive.
yeah, they definitely have like what do you call them, minimums for all that stuff, which it really probably depends on the relationship with the the shops and all that. So
Yeah.
all right, next I do have an example of this one, acetate covers. Now acetate, for the for the younger audience, I don't know, you may not even know any about this because of technology, but back in the day, in school, they used to have transparencies and overhead projectors where it's like a little piece of plastic that you can write on, and but it's very similar to that. So this is the DCKO acetate cover, and what I really like about it is that it gives you this really cool thing, right? And then you open it, and it shows you like a different illustration. So
Yeah.
I like these a lot. I have, every time I see some of this, I just like the way to reveal even more art. I think that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
So
It works within the logo, and then it's also part of the story.
yeah,
I don't
so
think I've seen too many of those. I think I may have a handful of them.
yeah, they don't make them a lot. DC's been doing it more recently. I think they did some
Yeah.
stuff for New Gods at the beginning of the series. But for the most part, yeah, it's not something that they overuse, and it's probably expensive to
Yeah.
make.
I think what I've seen from DC too is they also do that same, but without the acetate, they just do a cut. And so that it's like an open,
Oh, like a die cut thing.
a die
Yeah.
cut cover that's open with the art exposed.
Yeah, we can
That's
kind of
part
lump
the
those in
cover.
here too because they're kind of the same concept.
Yeah.
So
And
and
again, I won't go get it just because of it.
Mhm.
But if it's in a book I'm buying, I may look at that. That may be an incentive for me to buy it if it looks great. Because
Yeah.
odds are the other cover is just those letters with no art.
And then look in the back, I could just draw on the back of the book with my
I want to see you draw on it.
with my washable marker. I don't have the markers that and this one was only $6, which the normal book is $5 itself. So like it's not that much extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is gonna be a smash for me, and sounds like the same for you. All right, this is an old gimmick that I don't know if it lived very long. And Clay's augmented reality content. This was a thing where I think it just got too expensive for publishers to maintain. But what they used to do was they would have little AR codes. I think Marvel did this more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And you would point your phone at it, and it would take you like some kind of video and off to the side and be like, here's what we're, maybe an interview with the creator or an animation of what you're looking at. But I think it just got too expensive for them to maintain. So I think, like Clay, this is going to be a pass because it seems unsustainable. I like the idea of it.
It's shit. It was a bad idea. It's like adding extras. Like there was a period of time when comics were like, well, we're kind of like a DVD, so we should have director's cuts of comics, and then they started putting those out. Now it's like we're going to add special features, but then the special features usually turn up in the hardback. So like if you buy the hardback of a run, like Vision, you can get the script, you can get like layouts, you can get all kinds of stuff. Putting it directly in the comic like this was a waste of time. Ruins the page that you have to put the AR on.
Yeah.
And then just makes people go, well, what was the purpose of this? Like you basically have just put like, well, this is dumb, and everyone that ever reads it is going to know that we made a dumb mistake during this book. Yep. Because it just doesn't give you any quality content. And they also did that. Remember when they were doing that at the end of books? They'd be like, oh, there's a bonus ending.
Yeah. That's a more recent thing where they had a QR and then you had to go. Yeah. So, and I was like, what the hell? So I think it's going to be a big pass. Don't make me go look for somewhere else to get your story.
Yeah. I just gave you my money for this book. Yeah. I don't want to pick up my phone.
Yeah. Like I will say, I wish they would put that content on their YouTube channel, because that was like, it was interesting to see the interview, but I'm not going to watch a 5-minute YouTube video in the middle of me reading the latest issue of the Avengers.
Yeah, and like you said, sustainability. Is there a server that still runs that AR stuff? Has anyone picked up an AR comic and then tried to use
They
that?
unplug it. They forgot to unplug it. So
yeah, see, it takes a lot to sustain that, and they don't. It's like they don't even think about the price of the long term. It's like, well, if we do this for 5 years and then it doesn't work, do we keep those servers up? For 5 years worth of books?
Yeah. All right, next. This one, so like I said, I asked a bunch of people for stuff, and these are some of the ones that they got back to me. Animal variants. I don't know if you remember when they turned every character into a different animal.
I love a good gorilla book. If they JL Ape, Marvel Apes, I love any character becoming an ape or any character having to engage with an ape.
They also did like where they turned everyone into a cat, like a Marvel Cats thing.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Or a dog as well, like when the the Crypto movie was coming out, I think they turned everyone into a dog. So I don't know. I like the idea of it, and it doesn't seem to be overused, which I think the oversaturation of the gimmick is also something that's really influencing our decision here.
I like animals. I like the variants. I like the Pet Avengers. I like the super pets. It just depends. It really kind of depends on the story, because like there are great standalone like Loki the alligator shark.
Oh yeah,
or Loki the alligator comic that
hold on a second, because you just pitched a really good idea. Loki the alligator shark.
Yeah, that was a great book, and it like hardly any dialogue, and it was just a fun, quick read. But again, like I think that book was $7.
Yeah,
and it really should have been like aimed for kids and priced a lot lower. But like Jeff the Land Shark is another great animal fun book.
Well, and we have this really nice our article from Comics Beat that I found. So yeah, they just turned everyone into like a different animal, which like Thor being a stag, that's pretty good. The Hulk bear. I remember this cover.
Yeah.
Chris Samney turning Wolverine into this little cat. And then this is when there was the lineup of the X-Men was all female.
Oh, women, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not bad. It's not a bad gimmick. So I would welcome more of this stuff. It feels creative, which I think is another thing, right? It feels like push the creativity of the artist, because covers really sell the book. So let's sell the book. So
yeah.
All right, that's a smash for us. We love animals here at the Next Issue Podcast. If you don't believe me, Clay has. How many animals do you have in your house, Clay?
Oh, just one. We just have
just the one. Okay.
Zera, Dr. Zera.
All right, next we have Lego covers. Do you remember the age of the Lego comic book variant?
Not a fan. Most of the time, it was just a Lego variation of the original comic book cover. So it wasn't anything neat. Or it was just a straight up close up of the character of the book in Lego format. So it was nothing revolutionary. It was just, hey, Lego.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately it also, I don't know, like it seems like a fun idea to even just recreate. This is the Superior Spider-Man Lego cover.
Yeah.
Even just kind of recreating obviously the original Amazing Fantasy. But I'm not a big fan of the Lego aesthetic when it comes to the figures. Especially in this way. Like I don't know, there's something about it that I don't know. It feels weird, and I don't like it. I don't want it in my comic book. So,
I mean, the better Lego presentation, I believe, is if you do like you're going to sell a Lego cover, like you're going to sell that Superior Spider-Man Lego cover, and then you're going to sell the minifigs to build that cover. Like that would be cooler, because that cover isn't a lot, and it's just mainly 2 minifigs. So that would be cool if you got a Lego cover that you could actually build.
So I do want to see that that kid make more of those trailers in Lego form.
Yeah,
that
I do enjoy those. So, yeah,
and keep that kid working on those Spider-Man movies. All right, maybe they're not even a kid anymore. I don't know. It's been a while since we got a Spider-Man animated movie. Yeah. All right. Next, scanning QR codes or getting codes for digital copies with your comic books.
I need the digital copies, but I think I don't know, man. I want to buy a book. I want to read a book. If I can
Yeah.
get a digital copy that I can put my physical book up and read later, I would love
Yes.
that.
I
But they make it
also,
really hard.
yeah, they really, you have to jump through. They try to make it easier now with the QR codes, but they really make you jump through a lot of hoops to redeem your stuff. Like it's a thing where you have to sit and you're like, I'm gonna be here for like 30 minutes with these 10 books and we're gonna get them all in. But I do like this though. Because like you said, if I ever want to go back and look at something, I don't want to have to dig my book out of
Yeah.
the box or whatever. So I think this one's a smash for me, especially if it doesn't cost anything extra. Because DC did it for a while, and they were charging an extra $1 for the one that came with the digital copy, and I'm like, this is just a license. You're not really selling me anything.
Yeah.
Then it's not sustainable. But this one I do like when like Marvel does it with their. I'm also even a little upset that they don't do it with the red band
Yeah.
line. So, but yeah, I
But
think
they
this one's gonna
also
be
they
fun.
also like the only Marvel book that I collect, I think Moon Knight and X-Men are the only two, and I go like every other month, so it takes me a while.
Yeah,
And not every issue is available digitally. So they'll like have a 6-issue arc and maybe 2 issues aren't available digitally. So if
oh,
you're
that's
reading
weird.
them digitally, then you have to go buy those 2 issues
Oh,
outside of
interesting.
that. Yeah, so they really kind of force you like, hey, if you're getting this digitally, you're not going to get the full story.
You,
So,
you know what though? I will say I was always very adamant. Sometimes you're right, there would be books that wouldn't have it, but I would email their customer service like, and they would for the most part just give me the code, for
yeah.
another one. It was just because they were having like I think different printers, so they couldn't put the little sticker on it. But they had a list of books that you could go in. So, but yeah, I think digital comics included with my physical purchase encourages
Included.
me to keep, yeah, encourages me to keep buying physical, but then also read more digital stuff.
Yeah, as books went up to like $5, I was like, at least I'm getting a digital copy. And now that they're going beyond that and you're not getting it, it's not really worth it. Like it just kind of bums me out. Like,
Yeah. All right. I'll let you take over these last three since these are the ones you put on the list.
oh, okay.
Earlier.
Well, yeah. Back in the day, they did a Nuff Said event book that was essentially, it wasn't an event book you buy, but it went through every series in the Marvel universe, including like non-Marvel stuff, because G.I. Joe did enough said, and it was a Snake Eyes issue. So there's like no dialogue in the whole book. None of the stories are connected, but for I believe it was for a month,
Mhm.
like it just said enough said on the cover, and the whole story would be dialogueless. Were these the
Yep.
books?
So these are the books. So they did Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain Marvel,
Elektra.
Fantastic Four, Avengers, Defenders, Elektra, Cable. I think I've gone back to read some of these because we did a show where we talked about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are all the books you can find that it's on the Marvel fandom website. Uh, the GI Joe's probably not on here just because it's not an actual Marvel property, but they were doing it at the time. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, very cool. Oh, Spider Girl had her own book at the time. Yeah, I think those are. I remember reading some of these, and they are reading.
Yeah.
Um, but it was an interesting challenge for the creative team, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a smash for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a smash too. Cause I mean, you don't have to read every one. It's the way event books should be. Hey, this thing happens in every book, but you don't have to read 52 copies. You could just
Yeah.
read what happens in your book and what happens to your character, or maybe it's not even something that happens within there. It's just going to be the way the story's told.
Yep. All
So,
right.
imprints. So we all talk about the main, Marvel, DC, even Dark Horse and Image have like imprints below them. It's hard to say, does that affect you wanting to buy it? Because I feel like no matter what the imprint is, it's either going to be character or a creator.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're a Punisher fan, do you just buy the Marvel version, or do you up to the Max version because you know the Max version is going to be more like a Punisher story?
That's a good example because there are currently 2 Punisher books. One is under the normal Marvel brand, the red band one though. But they also have a Marvel Knights. They have their Marvel Knights imprint back. And I was thinking about this when you put it on the list. Like, to me, the appeal is that you're telling me these are going to be separate stories that don't affect, like DC Black Label. I love that. Like, it's been great to know that these are just kind of standalone stories for the most part that don't really affect continuity. Vertigo the same way. I was really hyped about the announcement that Vertigo's coming back. So I like, yeah.
Original Vertigo was Karen Berger, and she really made that what it is. The weird part is they're bringing that back, but it really has to have a voice behind Vertigo the way Karen Berger was. And that's what I want to see. Is I want to see someone who brings in fresh voices. Really, who are our modern day storytellers that are telling us incredible things? Those people should be creating comics for Vertigo.
Yep. So, but I think overall with the imprints though, I like it. I'm gonna smash on this one.
Yeah, I'm too. Marvel did Epic early on, which was interesting because it was like, well, we're going to do this thing where these stories we're going to tell outside of continuity, but we're going to try to use more characters outside of Marvel. But hey, here's Elektra, here's Galactus, here are all the. But you got Mobius doing Galactus. You got you had John Byrne tell the last Galactus story in an Epic comic. I kind of love those ideas. To me, it's always going to be fresh and new. The only thing is when they recycle things like Vertigo, that's what I'm worried about. It's like, I loved Vertigo, but you should kind of let the past be past and call it something new and let whoever runs it make it their own name.
It should have a reason to exist. You're right. I agree with that. It shouldn't just be like, there should be a reason behind the gimmick, not just like, oh, people love the Vertigo name, so we're just going to call it Vertigo or whatever. So,
yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, because there have been so many other imprints. I'm trying to remember the ones for Dark Horse. Because didn't they do an imprint just for John Byrne? Like he had his own imprint.
I don't remember. I know Bendis brings his Jinx World stuff wherever he goes.
Yeah.
But that's more of like, that's Bendis. Like he's just whoever he happens to be working with at the time, right?
Yeah, because Mike Mignola does Hellboy just under
the Hellboy stuff,
under Dark Horse. So
and then with Image is like, these are like sub imprints, like because they're driven by the creative force, right? Like Rick Remender has his Giant Generator imprint and stuff like that. And even within that, like Skybound, it's its own little entity within Image. So yeah, but like I said, if it has to have a reason to exist, it shouldn't, like at Image, it feels like it's more because it's the creators that are like the little group of creators or whoever's running that type of stuff. But yeah, I like them though. I like the idea of like these separate things, and it helps me with making decisions of like when to add things to the pull list and how to read them. Like, is this something I want to read in the trade? Like the Vertigo books, I'll probably read most of those in the collection just because DC Black Label has been great to experience in that way.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then the last one we have on the list, really,
the Death in the Family call-in. Like, do you enjoy participation in your comic books, or do you feel like or like people are a bunch of bastards? Because people are going to vote for the shittiest thing possible.
Yeah, and I think with Death in the Family, because I read the other issue, that the other ending or whatever.
Yeah,
they recently released it. It didn't turn out too well for anybody either. So I feel like both enders were kind of pretty grim.
Yeah.
But I do like fan participation. Like there was that whole was it the round robin tournament that they did where there was like creative pitches for like 8 books, right? and then they let the fans decide. Like, here's a few pages of the story. Which story should we keep pursuing? And then ultimately, that Superboy Man of Tomorrow book came out of that because people wanted that one. So I like that kind of fan interaction where like it's what the people want. You're literally giving the people what they want, even if sometimes it means the Joker beating a Robin
child to death
with a crowbar, right? So, but I mean, it worked out for everyone. I think people love the crowbar thing. We got Red Hood eventually out of that. So,
it's weird when you want to let people vote on stuff because I feel like you're going to get the lowest common denominator, voting for Bodie McBoatface or something ridiculous. I do like when it's driven like by the fans, because Top Cow used to have a pilot season where they would put out like an issue of a book that they thought, well, we might run with this book, but whatever sells the best is kind of the one that gets to keep continuing.
Yeah. Now, I don't want it to be like what you were describing earlier of like the creator showdown of like, we'll cancel the book that's selling the least or whatever.
Yeah. So like while researching this, I came into this old thread about Bill Gimmicks and Joe Quesada back in the day when they were at Marvel as an editor-in-chief and publisher, and how shitty they treated Peter David, who was writing Captain Marvel at the time. And so they were going to raise the book. I think it was going to be $250 from $225. And this Gimmicks guy was such a dick. He would do everything publicly. Like he wanted to be a Vince McMahon of Marvel. Oh. So like he would kind of call out writers in the public. He would just be kind of a dickhead from what I'm reading. And so he challenged Peter David to a contest where they were going to put out a couple of books and the best-selling book would win. And so I'm not even through this because there's just so much argument back and forth between these two, just bickering at each other. And it's just ridiculous to see a publisher thinking he can outdo Peter David, who is one of the greatest writers of sci-fi, fantasy, superhero. The guy's done it all. If you go read a comic that says Peter David, I guarantee you it's going to be good. If you check out a Peter David Star Trek book, you're going to be a Star Trek fan. Like Peter David's done it all. This guy, he lucked into a job. That's all he did. So they had a couple of books. I believe one of the books was called Marvelle, Marville, and it even had like a Smallville parody cover on that. I wouldn't read any of these books. These books were all terrible. It was called You Decide, and only the writers knew about it because Duncan Fegredo, he was on Ultimate Adventure, which was one of the books, and he didn't even know about it. So it's weird when there's this big, contest for stuff, but then non-writers are part of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, You Decide. I see it. Let me
got it?
Yeah. Found it. This Marvel fandom website has everything.
Yeah. So there's the poster in the middle.
Oh, Marvel. Okay, gotcha. So they're trying to fight out. Let's see who is this.
I forgot. A lot of Greg Horn art, I believe, too.
Oh. So yeah, okay. Peter David, Bill Gimmicks, or Joe Quesada. Oh, that's interesting. It seems weird though. No alternate covers, alternate foil covers. Well, that seems. Oh, no alternate covers. Just Joe Quesada was just gonna let the story speak for itself. He didn't need the gimmick. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird when you're just arguing publicly with the people that work with you to try to achieve the same goal.
Will Joe Quesada take a pie to the face? Will Bill Gimmicks fall into a dunk tank? Will Peter David get the last laugh? You decide. Man, Peter David got covers by Joe Jusko and Alex Ross. That seems like an unfair advantage.
Hey. Yeah, but the other two guys run the company, so they should be able to put something good together.
I mean, Joe Quesada can definitely put a good cover together. I've never heard of this Bill Gimmicks fella.
Yeah, he was there for just a little bit, and then I'm trying to remember. God, I don't even think he was there 10 years. I don't even think he was there 5 years.
So, well,
should we look these book up and read them and see how horrible?
We might have to visit this You Decide issue in a future episode.
Yeah,
and then we'll decide 10 years,
20 years
whatever,
later,
20 years later, 30 years later. So, all right. Well, so I will say, as far as the fan interaction, just to clarify, that's going to be a smash. Publicly airing out your dirty laundry in a comic book contest, that's going to be a pass for us.
Yeah.
When it comes to the gimmick. So
I found another gimmick while researching that I didn't put in the notes.
Oh,
Can
sure.
I drop it real quick?
We'll close out with that.
Yeah, it is from 2011. The story is because I didn't know that Al Ewing wrote for Judge Dredd, and he wrote a Choose Your Own Adventure Judge Dredd book.
Oh yes.
So there is a Choose Your Own Adventure style Judge Dredd book, and I believe I've read it 2 different ways. Like it's a time travel book, so you can either follow Judge Dredd or the Time Traveler. So it lets you kind of choose those options. I'm in. Granted, I missed
same here. I would
love to read that
because you get multiple stories. So Choose Your Own Adventure, definitely a smash.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think we did it. Oh, I guess so. We'll close out with this. We need help deciding the last gimmick. Regular foil covers. So I'll put out a survey. I'll pin a comment after this, and then I'll put out a survey on the channel. And then we'll see what the fans decide. Is our regular foil covers, and I'm talking about just like these, like this Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's just shiny.
Just shiny.
There's no bump. There's no texture to it or anything. Are these a good gimmick? Is it worth it? So you guys can let us know. Follow up. If we forgot any gimmicks, also let us know down in the comments, or let us know what your favorite gimmick is.
Yeah.
We won't judge you if you put spicy versions on there.
Yeah,
we understand.
We
don't kink shame here.
Yeah.
So,
did you figure out what book, if you were to you put your blood or your ashes into a comic book that was going to be reprinted with a foil cover? No, reprinted just like the original, but it's going to have your ashes in it or your blood. What is that book?
I want to live forever in the the Scott Snyder Greg Capullo Batman Omnibus.
Oh wow.
Just put me in there. Throw a little bit in the Court of Owls. Yeah.
This has been tough because I really I'm caught between 2 X-Men time periods.
Oh, okay.
So I either want to be ground up and put into Days of Future Past, or the Paul Smith era, the X-Men, like late 160s to 180s.
Okay.
I love that time period, and that was when I was really, really getting into that book, and I loved his art and everything. And so I can't pick if I have to pick a specific issue, I really would just like to be part of the cover of X-Men 181, the Days of Future Past cover that I have tattooed.
I think that one gets reprinted more, so I would recommend that one.
Yeah. So then I would be spread out across fandom.
So, hell yeah. Great. Well, that's been a great show. I really, really enjoyed doing this because I did not realize how many gimmicks there were in comics, and we're probably missing so many too. So this might be worth revisiting.
Eclipso had a physical thing on the cover that, like, when you go find it in back issues, it always sticks out.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Clay. This was a great show. I don't know what we're doing for tomorrow, or if we're doing a show tomorrow. We'll see. We're low on staff at the next issue. So
I forgot about.
Oh, what do you got?
I keep thinking of these more and more gimmicks. Back when they did their Green Lantern rings.
Oh, the rings. That's right. You could get a ring.
Yeah, you could get a ring. I think this one's from the movie, but the others were from Green Lantern event books that you could get all the different colors. And
I'll always take a free thing because they also did the Justice League the ID cards.
Yes, I have an X-Men one.
Like, those are things that they just give you. I think Venom, they did a tattoo designed by Donny Cates. So, like, I like that because you're not really buying anything. They're just giving you stuff at the shop, right? Until they run out. So yeah, give me stuff. I'll never turn away free stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep seeing more stuff. I go, oh yeah, I got this. This was a gimmick, and this.
Clay keeps looking around this house and just finding more gimmicks. I guess one we didn't bring up, like blank covers.
Blank covers has been huge, and we haven't even talked about that.
I love blank covers. That's the forever smash for me because then I get my commission. So
yeah, I only have a couple of blank covers that I want specific artists to do work on.
Yeah,
so.
and I have enough where I could just do it myself, but I'm afraid to mess up the cover. So
I gotta say that's genius marketing too, because if you go to a convention, you'll see people like me who have an art book that you have just Nightcrawler drawn in, and so that's all my art book has in it is just Nightcrawler sketches, except for one Hulk sketch because the guy wasn't listening. But it was Carrie Andrews.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, at least it probably looks super dope though.
It does. It's fucking amazing.
Damn, although I would love to see a Carrie Andrews Nightcrawler. That probably looks pretty cool too. So
yeah. So, but then you go, what if I could just sell a comic that's blank and then they could draw on it? Someone, that's bonus pay.
So cool. Well, thank you very much, Clay. Once again, thanks for joining me on this. I hope we solved the gimmicks. I think overall we're pretty even with the smash and pass. I feels pretty fair.
Yeah, I think the one we hated the most is probably Celebrity Writers.
Yeah, that one was like an instant smash, and then they are. Oh, sorry, I mean instant pass, and then also the AR content. It just seems unsustainable.
Yeah. I'm still reeling from that Werewolf by Night by Taboo. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Sometimes they don't work. Oh, sometimes they don't give them the right co-author. That's the other problem. So
yeah, they really should have them work with someone.
So, all right. Well, thanks everyone. Like I said, stay tuned. We should have another video dropping later on where I talk about the latest Kylo Ren comic, and then you can go back through this week. We had some really cool videos, including if you're still going to Baltimore Comic-Con, I did an overview of everybody that's going to be there. And then also what you should watch this weekend. My recommendation was Chainsaw Man Season 1 because the movie's coming out next week. But yeah, for all the other stuff, hopefully we can jump on a stream tomorrow. Stay tuned to the channel for that. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
The most important thing in life will always be
Hail Bebo.
Twitter loves you.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right, bye.
Get out of here, you weirdo.